I watched a video this week that made me question everything I thought I knew about Amazon. This guy laid out the data, and his conclusion is 100% clear that the Amazon seller is dying. So fewer new signups coming onto the platform, big brands are taking over, ad costs that would make anyone's eyes water. Chinese factories are cutting out the middlemen. And the worst part, every piece of data that's mentioned in that video, it checks out. It's accurate.
I watched the same video. You sent it to me, and I've been seeing other videos that are kind of doom and gloom like this about Amazon in general. So I looked too, and this data that he is quoting is not wrong. It's real stuff.
Here's what's wild about that.
Yeah.
I watched the same video and I saw the exact same data, but by the end of it, I was more confident in the reseller model than I've been since we started coaching.
Of course you were.
It's actually the strongest case I've seen for reselling since we got into this.
I agree.
They were making 2 videos. They just didn't know they were making the video for us.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Silent Sales Machine Radio. We are your co-hosts. I'm Brian.
And I'm Robin Joy.
And this is Coach's Corner.
All right, Brian, you've got some explaining to do.
There's this great video, actually, from someone who's, well-respected and deserves a lot of respect. He's got a ton of experience in the space and just lays out the case systematically for why the death of the Amazon seller. Like, Amazon did cross $740 billion in annual revenue last year, $56 billion in ad revenue, an average of $1.04 cost per click on advertising, which for us as resellers, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. For us as sellers, that's 30 cents of every dollar that we're generating is going to cover ads, which is some ridiculous, that's just a lot, right?
Right.
The cost go ahead.
If you're doing ads.
If you're doing ads, yes.
I see where you're going. Okay, keep going. We're going to get there with you.
The cost of private label launches went from like what used to be $3,000 to $5,000 to 20 to 25,000 or more.
Yeah.
Right. And then you may miss.
It's true. We know this is true.
You usually do miss on your first few.
Oh, yeah. We know that's true, too.
Big brands like Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson and Unilever are starting to cut their advertising budgets, and they're putting not all their eggs, but they're putting a lot more resources in the Amazon bucket.
Sure they are. Of course they are.
The Chinese manufacturers are going direct. Amazon changed the rules on their platform where you didn't used to be able to be in China and be a reseller. So basically, then Americans would go to China. I remember this when I was first getting started, source their product, bring it back. And then I think it was 2016 that they changed.
I'm glad you didn't start with that model.
I know. I mean, it's appealing. It's exciting. It is. I kind of want to do it.
Yeah. But then things like this happen, and you've got a lot in there.
Well, we do it just on a way different approach.
Yeah.
So anyway, and his conclusion at the end of this video is that the Amazon seller is dying. And the video looks like it applies to everybody, which I think is why it got a lot of traction, because it is really getting some talk out there.
Right.
But the fact is that most sellers, they're not filtering this information by the business model that they're running.
Right. What we teach you to start with, at least in this community, what you get when you come to us for coaching is what we call replens. This is an arbitrage move where we take existing listings, existing products, and make an offer on that listing. This is not private label. This is not the same thing. And those things, all those things that you mentioned, they don't apply to us. I don't use ads to do that. I let the companies do their own ads and take advantage of that. I let Amazon bring me eyeballs and take advantage of that system that's already there. So this doesn't apply to me.
Same platform, basically, but completely different economics because we're doing 2 different business models.
Yeah.
So if ever there was a turn it upside down moment, which is, I know, one of your favorite things to do, this is one of them. All right, let's unpack this a little bit. You ever driving down, like we make a long road trip at least once a month.
Yeah.
Long-ish road trip, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 hours on the road.
Because we go see those beautiful grandkids.
Right. And when we're driving home is usually when traffic starts to get all crazy up in the Denver area.
Yes.
And Waze is telling us, because we use Waze as our GPS in the car, is telling us when things get messed up or when an alternate faster route becomes available.
Yes.
This is kind of what it felt like to me as I was reading through this, right? Waze doesn't tell you the highway's closed. They say faster route found.
Yeah.
Okay, so what that article is saying, highway closed.
Yeah.
For me, that's faster route found. In fact, people who probably drove by the reseller off-ramp, they're all caught up in that traffic now up there. And the reseller off-ramp is as wide open as it's ever been.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed. So the private label all of a sudden is becoming that fad we were all kind of afraid of.
Right.
And there's a lot of traffic up there. People who say, "Oh, is it saturated?" Private label, maybe. I don't know. He makes a lot of good points. The good news is the faster route has already been found. And there's a way around this that doesn't get you caught up in all of that. Take all your money, take all your energy. It is a way that works with lot lower investment, a lot lower education required, a lot less time involved.
It's like and
no ads.
he was making the point for what we do right there in his existing data, right? So one more analogy I want to throw out there is this, like the stadium analogy.
Yeah.
Because I've been a long-time professional football fan.
Have you?
Yes.
I bet nobody knows that.
The cost of a team today, in today's market.
Have you looked into buying a team? Have you?
Yeah, no. Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm trying to nestle up to the Walton Penner group and see how.
You go make some friends over there.
Yeah, no. Is that it just costs way more money today than it did 30 years ago to buy a professional football team, and that's kind of like what
that was a lot.
The Amazon space has become.
Yeah,
right. It's like the stadium, like the game has gotten better. The teams have gotten better. The stadium has gotten bigger.
The traffic that moves through those stadiums have gotten way bigger.
Right. And the fans who go there are spending more money than ever before. And that's why I kind of see Amazon as the stadium access.
Everybody's going to spend money.
Right. So if you're trying to start a team, like launch a new private label product, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, you want to go buy a team, it's going to cost you some pennies.
And even if you get one, the building of a successful franchise is something that takes a lot of time and effort.
Oh, yeah. And there are rules. Yep. You have to stay within certain rules. But
you don't need to own a team to make money in a packed stadium.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What if I was just selling hot dogs in there?
Oh, yeah. That's the deal right there.
I went from
hot dogs in the stadium.
Yeah.
You just make a little bit of the money. To them, it's just a little bit of money. To you, it's a lot of money.
Yep.
And you can do that in stadium after stadium after stadium.
Yeah.
You can do that in different parts of the stadium. But all you have to do is sell hot dogs. You only have to buy hot dogs to resell. You don't have to buy a whole stadium or a whole team.
This last summer we went to a game at Coors Field, a Rockies game.
Yes.
And I'm just shocked at we used to go to a game and you would get like a soda or a refreshment, I'll say, and a hot dog. Yeah. Right? And a bag of chips.
Yeah.
All that in a bag of chips.
All that in a bag of chips.
Today, there's like this unlimited selection of food choices.
Right. And there's no just plain hot dog. There's the foot-long hot dog. Yes. There's the corn dog hot dog. There's the bratwurst. But there's not just a hot dog. I like just a hot dog like we used to get.
And every one of them is a 100% mess guaranteed.
Yes. Right. Because you're trying to do that while you're watching a ball game. Yeah, exactly. So, in the stadium,
So, I mean, if we continue that comparison to Amazon, like our opportunities on Amazon have gotten that much more diverse as well. Right. So if you don't want to sell hot dogs, you can sell chips. If you want to sell chips, you can sell peanuts. If you want to sell peanuts, you can sell hamburgers. Right. There's pizza. There's the Thai. There's Mexican. Like there's barbecue, all these different food outlets at these stadiums these days. So you have your choice.
Sometimes you can get a smoothie. You can get coffee, lattes. Yeah.
And now the original hot dog seller is like complaining because this is diluting my market.
Because he just wants to sell hot dogs and he doesn't want to make any changes.
Right. Right. But us as resellers, no, we go in there and we're like, yep, I'll sell some of that and some of that and some of that and some of that.
Yeah, you already got it all set up. Let me just bring you some hot dogs and you sell mine too, and I'll take a little bit of that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's just unpack a handful of things here to kind of paint the picture
Okay.
for why I think that video made the point for why reselling is back.
Okay.
Not back. Why reselling is the preferred method.
Yeah, it never went anywhere.
Yeah, it may have not looked as appealing to a lot of people trying to start a business because, why would I resell something if I can go make my own product?
Sure.
But now that making your own product has been exposed as the hardest route,
It is,
right?
It's a tough route. A lot of people know this that have tried that first.
Yeah.
It's a tough route. It'll cost you a lot of money. It's a big risk.
Well, the first one I want to get into is the quality of the catalog. And I don't think that there's any question about, from when I started 7 years ago, you joined that same year, that the quality of the listings today is easily 10x better than it was back then.
And that was because of some changes that Amazon made that were a little hard to take at the moment because they made us adjust too.
And so a lot of these conglomerates products are on there, like Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson and Unilever and all that, right? Their products are there. The listings, most of them are very well made. And I don't see a big brand showing up as competition when I say that, they take over. It's different, like if it's Nike and they're like, hold on, only 4 people can sell this stuff. That or Coach, right? Yeah. That's completely different.
And those things come and go as well.
But in terms of the everyday household commodities, that's not usually the case.
Right.
And so the quality of those product listings in the catalog makes your life so much easier.
Oh, right.
Because then you're not subject to this listing got changed to a 4-pack when it was a 1-pack.
Yeah.
Not that doesn't happen, but it's way easier to get corrected. And it's much less the Wild West these days than it has been. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It had to go that way.
So the quality of the catalog, I think, is a big thing.
Okay. What else?
Gating.
Yeah.
The gating.
You talked a little bit about that.
We've been talking about gating a lot.
Yeah.
I got a new thing coming out called Ungating Solved, by the way.
Ungating has been solved. Brian Olson will tell you how.
So anyway, the gating is one of these things that we have figured out how to overcome. Is it eliminating people who wanted the shortcut? Yes. It absolutely is.
Yeah. It's making it impossible for someone who does not have to prove themselves as a good actor as opposed to a bad actor to be able to get very far in that business. Though when you get past most of that, you feel good about that because that is a thing of the past, having to deal with those.
To me, I feel like it's a plus, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
And I want to be careful about how I say it because, it is going to lock out the corner cutters, the people who are trying to shortcut it. And I do see that as a bit of a moat where it's a bit of protection from the fly-by-nighters, I'll call them, right? They're going to show up and trash my listing, the listing that I'm on because they don't care because they don't know anything. Way harder to do that today because of that, Yes. And not that it doesn't happen. It's just more difficult. And I think that the quality of the seller is going up as a result.
Exactly. I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
The quality of the seller is going up as a result of the changes that Amazon makes. And we have to remember that. And we have to follow into becoming a higher quality seller as these things happen.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
He spends a lot of time on advertising, and there's no doubt that Amazon makes a pretty penny on the advertising platform.
Sure. Of course they do.
And
as does any advertising
AdWords much.
Yeah, AdWords, right? Facebook ads.
Facebook ads. Yeah, Meta ads. Yeah. But this one really got me because $56 billion a year, that's what it was last year in ad revenue, 30 cents of every dollar being spent on advertising. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And guess what? It doesn't apply to us.
Yeah.
We are not doing that. Now, I just want to be clear.
This is where we go, oh, yeah, that's not me.
2 things about this. Number 1, we do run a low-cost ad campaign. Sure. I typically put all
It's not necessary for the strategy, but
you don't have to.
It's an enhancement. Yeah.
Back when I started it in 2019, I named it the Q4 campaign because that's kind of what the advice was at the time, and I just left it on the whole time. And today I just refer to it as our 5-cent campaign. We bid a nickel, which is the lowest of the low-hanging fruit when it comes to ads, on every item in our catalog.
It does not make our catalog move. Like, it is not an influencer in how much we sell.
A little bit.
Very tiny. A nickel's worth. maybe.
Well, yeah. So I would say like a few percent, like 3%. 3 to 5% improvement in our overall. But you when you have a real business, you're looking for every 3 to 5% you can get, right?
This is true. This is true. It's not going to make that much difference. If I just have 10 ASINs or 100 ASINs.
And why don't we have to advertise? This is the question.
Because the big brands are, the Unilever, the Procter and Gamble, the I don't know,
Johnson & Johnson,
and Dawn
General
dishwashing.
Electrics. Yep.
Yeah, they're doing advertising.
Yes.
They're doing their own advertising. We don't have to worry about it. And so is Amazon. Amazon's bringing the eyeballs. That's why we pay a fee to them, because they bring the eyeballs. They have built the system and all the infrastructure that we just put ourselves into.
Yep.
It's already there. We don't have to do it.
One of the points he does bring up that I think is valid is the Amazon fee structure.
Yeah.
And how it's gone up over the years. And I remember when I first came on 7 years ago, the kind of running math or rule of thumb was a third of your revenue goes to cover Amazon fees. And it wasn't a third at the time. It had already gone up at that point, but that was like the prevailing thought, from the old schoolers.
Math. Yeah.
And today I will say it's closer to 40%. For us. So what does that mean? It forces us to get more efficient in other parts of our operation, because otherwise it comes right out of the bottom line, and we don't want it to do that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And the alternative is to have our own brand and our own shop where we bring the traffic and we have the distribution channels. Channels is another word. The infrastructure. And all those people working in our warehouse to take care of our, we don't have to build any of that. We don't have to let anybody know about our brand. Those brands are letting them, that we resell on, they're letting their customers know about those brands, why they should buy them.
100%.
All we have to do is make them available to people.
They've already spent billions of dollars on branding and marketing and advertising.
Consistently doing it.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We don't have to put an ad up for Tide, because people will come on and they start search. They're not searching for Tide. I mean, they may search for it, but but I don't have to have an ad for that. Tide is a household name.
They're going to find me if they're searching for Tide if I'm making an offer.
That's right. Another point that he brings up is the Chinese competition.
Now, this is where it really has been a change in the last few years for the private label seller.
Yeah, no doubt.
When you're looking at your own manufacturer that you bought, you contracted with in China, and he's making your same thing in the listing right next to yours with a different brand for 10% less. Yeah, that's gonna be painful. So that whole model is kind of in question, I think.
Yeah, and
it's not the only way you can make a private label brand, by the way, but
yeah. The thought that's formulating in my head is around the sales volume of these types of sellers.
Yeah.
They're looking for listings that sell 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 units a month, right? But that's not the space that we play in anyway.
No, it's not. And you made that clear in a podcast last time before, where we're still doing some research. But what we have found is there's a band that us small business resellers can make. And just because I say small business doesn't mean it's not a real business that can't support you and support many employees. I'm talking about as opposed to billion-dollar sellers, we can find space in that fast-moving but not so fast-moving where the big guys don't want to play. And there's so much space there. We keep finding more and more and more and more and more all the time. So I think that's one of the things that has made us be able to compete in a world where all the joy, all the, noise is about how much you can sell of any given item. And we're like, how much can I sell of the items that are underserved, that need me to sell in them?
Where are these products that are flying under the radar?
Yeah. Those aren't the private label products.
Yeah.
And those aren't the ones that the big companies have started selling themselves. These are the ones that are in between. And we can find that space, that range, and a whole bunch of us are making money there. There's still room for more.
So he does call out some specific categories that the Chinese sellers are really dominating. T-shirts, weighted vest, car vacuums.
Yeah.
When's the last time you sourced a weighted vest from Target?
It sounds like a private label problem to me.
It is absolutely a private label problem. I mean, these are like, oh, I got this great idea, or I got this, this space that hasn't been exploited yet, and I'm going to make my own product.
I'm going to invent something, or
Yeah, versus
make something better.
I can make 40% return on investment on this tube of toothpaste. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Right? Or, whatever it is. Yeah.
And find 500 of those.
No, 500 different of those. Different ones.
I have 500 different tubes of toothpaste or
Yeah.
different products that are like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to finding a tube of toothpaste that sells 500 times.
This is like
that I can sell 500 times.
This is like a completely different playing field. So this is like the Wimbledon tennis courts versus the NFL stadium. You know what I mean?
And this is not new. We've been doing this for many years.
It's just a completely different venue. It is not the same game, and it has to be a different venue because the game is different.
It's a different game. You're right.
It is a completely different game, and
it's kind of like we mentioned the stadiums, right? When the Rockies first started, they didn't have Coors Field.
Right.
They played at Mile High Stadium.
Yep.
That's where the Broncos played. That's where they played. Everybody played
in one stadium.
In one stadium.
Yeah.
When we still hockey, the Avs play in the same arena that the Nuggets play. Like, just because you're in the same arena, using the same platform, does not mean
you're playing the
same game.
That's a great point. I like that, because hockey and basketball are quite different.
Quite.
Yeah. All right, and then the last thing was the risk profile of the private label seller. Right, he calls out that it used to be you could launch a private label brand. Maybe it was just a test, but it was a launch for $3,000 to $5,000. Today, that's $20,000, $25,000 or more.
Yeah.
Before you even know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
I can go test an existing listing of a product that I source from a retail source.
Yep.
For profit. I can test for $15-$20.
Yep, and you're going to sleep really good at night.
And I'm going to sleep really good at night. Yeah. Because I can test 10 of those. Maybe 3 of them become replenishments, and the other 7, I still make a sale.
Yep.
And I move on.
So before we leave this topic, I want to cover one more thing, which is there have been some stats coming out from this place called Marketplace Pulse, which is a lot of this data that is covered in this particular video came from that same set of data, the same data set. Okay. And what we're seeing is that, new people coming onto the platform, new accounts has gone down. But on the flip side, more people are ascending the revenue ladder than ever before. Yeah. So so
don't cherry pick your data.
Right. Like, yes, fewer people are doing it, and you could make the argument that it's harder, and at the same time, I'll show you why it's easier than it's ever been. But the bottom line is more people are doing $500,000, 7 figures, 8 figures, and 9-figure businesses. Very few individuals are doing 9-figure businesses, would be my guess, but than ever before.
Well, not by themselves, probably. Yeah.
Right.
They might be the individual owner, though.
So again, what does that mean? That means there are fewer people coming in who are launching crappy private label products. Not everyone launches crappy ones, but you know what I mean.
They're not all crappy.
The catalog looks better, in theory, and
the listings look better.
Yes, exactly, a lot better.
Amazon is remember this, Amazon needs to stay relevant, and they need to stay attractive to their customer. And that's what a lot of this cleanup does. We have cleanup all the time where Amazon's going through and cleaning things up or changing the rules a little bit so it looks a little better. Yeah, the better they make it look to their customer, the better chance I have to sell to their customer.
100%.
So I'm appreciating that.
I guess you could look at the data. The point here is that you could look at the data in one of 2 ways. Yeah. You could take the negative Nancy side of it. Sorry, Nancy. And with any piece of data that comes out, or you could take the optimist side. And I tend to fall more on the optimist side of that, which is, okay, how does this impact my business? Actually, this is helping my business a ton. Well,
it all goes to our basic philosophy of don't try to find a way not to.
Mhm.
We try to find a way
Yes,
to
right.
move forward.
Yeah. So I think we did it through in the pre-read, but we forgot to do it here, which is this is the classic turn it upside down situation, right? Take what you're seeing here, flip the script on it and see how does this work instead of like, oh, doom and gloom. It's not good for Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Why can this help us?
How can this help us?
How can this help us? All right. So what can we do as a modern builder?
Okay.
Right?
So you found some places this can help us. Is that what you're about to tell us?
Well, I just mean, when you see these videos, how do you approach it? When you see these articles, how do you approach it? Because it's super easy to get caught up in the negative, right?
Yeah. And first of all, like you said before, let's make clear that we understand what model they're talking about in this case. They're not talking about arbitrage sellers. Hey, he does mention something about arbitrage sellers, but this video is about private label sellers.
Yes. And so, question one, what business model are they talking about? Question two, is this applying to existing listings from established brands? Or is this something different from that?
Yeah.
Right? And then the third question I would ask is, or try to put on the lens of, how could this benefit me as a reseller?
Yes.
Right? How do I leverage that?
How do I take advantage of the fact that everybody's running scared, what's being left from this that I can take advantage of?
I think I see it as a confidence moment, not a fear moment.
Yeah.
Right? Like from the beginning, it was about the same data, two different business models, opposite conclusions, right?
Like you said, two different videos, whether he meant to or not, right?
Yeah.
And then again, more than one. Yeah.
Yep.
Have been saying the same thing. So what do we focus on right now based on that? I would say systematic testing. Systematic testing is the biggest thing that you can do regularly. It's not something that ends. You consistently keep testing as part of your process so that you can consistently find better and better listings, better and better sources, and replace ones that don't go as well. Growth happens there, and you got to grow. You can't stand still.
The data extraction that you get from that experience is what is going to drive your business forward. If you're only getting a very small set of data every once in a while, you're not going to learn. You're not going to adapt, and it's going to be really challenging.
It's not going to impact your
grow.
business.
Exactly. So the more data that you can gather, the better off you're going to be in the long run.
So the builders who understand this distinction between what is the private label problem and what's the arbitrage seller's problem, between what's the difference between keeping testing going and not, between finding, building your database full of options, consistently having new options. They're the ones that are still here in a couple of years.
100%. Build your database. Make sure you're keeping your account health up and your inventory score and all that good stuff. Earn your access.
Yeah.
Like it feels like we've got such a small patch to tend when we first start out on Amazon. And, I'm speaking about my own experience too. I know new sellers still feel that way.
Sure.
But if you tend that patch well, it will grow and grow and grow.
And you can harvest it.
And you can continue to harvest it. Yes, there you go.
Using the PATH system.
Yes.
Which is our book. You can prospect, assess, test, and harvest.
Yep. Okay, good. Yes, we like harvesting. That's where the fun part is, right?
Yes. So let me before I know you have a quote, but before we get there, I have to tell everybody what happened this week. I broke my mug. I broke my keep calm and test more ASINs mug.
This one.
Yeah. So I am today using anyone can have ideas. Entrepreneurs bring ideas to life. I know you can't see that, but that's what I have to use until I can get a new mug. All right.
It's on the way.
It's on the way. Now, what do you have first? Do you have a quote first?
I do have a quote first. Lost your train of thought there, huh?
Oh, yeah. What were we doing?
The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. And the realist adjusts the sails.
Who said that?
William Arthur Ward.
The pessimist complains about the wind.
Uh-huh.
The optimist expects it to change.
Mm-hmm.
But the realist just adjusts his sails. Okay, I like it.
And what this...
I want to be the guy who just adjusts the sails. Take advantage of the wind change.
I think there's no doubt that the wind is blowing pretty hard right now for against private label sellers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right? Maybe harder than ever.
Yeah.
But as resellers, we're not complaining about that because we adjusted our sales a long time ago.
You did.
Right?
Yes, we did. That's what made it a lower risk for us to stay in the game, right?
The whole reseller model is the adjusted sale.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I like it. The alternate route.
Yeah.
The route that's not so busy.
Same wind, we're going different direction. And that always blows my mind. Like, I don't get sailing because we grew up,
in Colorado, we
mountains.
don't have a whole lot of sailing. There's
no matter
one place you can put a boat.
Where the wind's going, you can go the direction you need to go.
Yeah.
Like, that just is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So when you see that next viral video or article saying Amazon's dead and you start wondering if you should panic.
Yeah. I think we just go test more ASINs.
Yeah, you know what cures that? Go test more ASINs.
Let's go test more ASINs.
Great to see everybody. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Hey, before I let you go today, I've got a good friend of mine, Mr. Jeff Schick from jeffschick.com, our resident expert for all things Amazon legal and policy, e-commerce, eBay, Walmart, all the sites. He and his team have done such a great job serving our community with tips and insights on those legal and policy edges to keep us all safe. What's on your mind today, Jeff?
So what I wanted to talk about is Section 3. So I know it's a scary buzzword for a lot of people, but what I want to talk about is that it's really not as scary as people think, but we'll talk about the why it's happening and what it is. So the what is relatively easy. So Section 3 is a very, very broad term that refers to any time someone is suspended, they're suspended in accordance with Section 3, and then there's subparts. Now, the two most common reasons people get suspended under Section 3 these days are supply chain verifications, which is where they're trying to make sure that the goods you're selling are coming from good sources and that they're not counterfeit. The second type of Section 3 verification is a stolen goods verification. And so that one is, in particular, typically happens when Amazon is made aware that either like a store or a distributor or a trucking company, someone has suffered a major stolen goods breach. And they know what the products are, but they don't, and they know the serial numbers too, but it's hard. Amazon doesn't track serial numbers all the time. So that's where they're trying to, check and make sure what's going on. So like a good example of the stolen goods verification we saw had to do with Shark Ninja vacuum cleaners. And back like in 2022, an 18-wheeler was commandeered by the Mexican drug cartel in Southern California, and all the vacuum cleaners were stolen. They didn't make it into housekeepers' supply chains. They made it into fake distributors selling to Amazon sellers. And that's where all these vacuum cleaners ended up. And so Amazon started targeting anyone selling Shark vacuum cleaners because they knew that there had been a truckload of them that were stolen. And so they were trying to make sure that people weren't selling these stolen goods on the Amazon marketplace. So that's where that comes from. Now, on Section 3, a lot of people get scared about it. They think Amazon's out to get them. But the reality is that Amazon wants you to pass. They want to put you under audit for your supply chain, for making sure that you're selling authentic products. They want you to prove that you've done it. They don't want to catch you selling bad products. And if they're under review for stolen goods, they want to see that you bought them from Target and that you didn't buy these vacuum cleaners from XYZ distributors in Southern California.
Or Liquidation Palace.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, what Amazon has been saying in their shareholder communications is that they're now talking about these Section 3 audits and how a majority of sellers that are getting hit with them are passing them. And that they're saying this is why consumers can trust our marketplace, because most of our vendors, the vast majority of our vendors are selling good products. So they want you to pass. They don't want you to fail the Section 3.
Yeah, it makes them look bad if they've got a bunch of people failing the Section 3 audits. So that whole rumor of they're just trying to thin the herd. No, if they wanted to thin the herd, they'd just shut off your account.
Right, exactly.
They want legitimate sellers selling legitimate product. They need it. And as we've identified recently, Jeff, we've done some investigation. At any given time, we've identified millions of products that sell at least 50 times or more in Amazon's massive warehouse network, millions of them that are ridiculously understocked or entirely unstocked at any given time.
Yeah.
They need and they want sellers, but you just got to make sure you're sourcing from an authorized source.
Right. Exactly. And again, like we've talked about in previous episodes, asking the brand, those 3 words, ask the brand.
Someone made a meme. I don't know if you saw that, a meme of me with a little bubble over my head. And it said, ask the brand, because I say it so often. How do I know if it's legit? Ask the brand. That's how you know if it's authorized. They'll tell you.
Yeah. And, it's, believe it or not, it's surprisingly easy. Go on LinkedIn, look up, sales representative for Procter and Gamble. They've probably got thousands of them. And then you go to that sales rep, they're not going to open a direct account. I'm not telling you to go to them and start pitching why you should be their exclusive,
You're not asking their permission to sell the product.
Yeah.
Either. You're just asking, is this a
real
authorized
distributor? Or can you give me a list of your distributors where I can buy these products?
Exactly.
Not
It may even
retailers.
be on their website. I went to Lego's website and did that not too long ago and checked, and I wasn't sure, and I found out, they're authorized. All right, cool. We can go clear out their clearance section of Lego and sell them. No problem. So when in doubt, just ask the brand. They'll tell you.
Exactly. So
good tip, man. Section 3 doesn't need to be scary. Amazon wants you to pass.
Correct. And if you want to protect yourself before something goes wrong, sign up with our team. We're here to help guide you every step of the way, as long as you've signed up beforehand. And we have a discount code for where your first month as a pack member is just $1. So, that first month is going to cost you 3 pennies a day. We've had sellers that have used that discount code and gotten suspended a week after signing up, and they're fully covered. And they paid us $1 for the suspension. And our team is happy to help because that's what we're here for. So
getting them reinstated. That's what I hear. Anytime someone's suspended and they say, yeah, but I got Jeff Schick working for me. The next thing I hear a few days later inevitably is, yep, reinstated. We're good now. So sleep easier at night. Put Jeff's team to work for you. jeffschick.com. We've got a coupon code for you. Get that first month for $1. If you can't afford that, hey, I'll cover it for you. And let's put Jeff and his team to work on your account. Thanks, Jeff. We'll do this again next week. All right, buddy?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, my friend.